All right, guys. I guess I'm gonna title this one "Random Topics." I got a few things to talk about here. First of all, I gotta start having some age restrictions when it comes to these readers, man. Because what I notice, and not that only young readers talk like this. You got older people that talk like this too. But I gotta start really censoring who I listen to because one thing I notice about a lot of people these days, especially in America, y'all know I love to bring up America. Yes. Why? Because they're fucking idiots. That's why. All you surrounded by nothing but ignorance and bigotry everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, it's just ignorance and bigotry, man. Am I lying? But anyway, I gotta start. I, you know, everybody is talking about feelings, 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 feelings. How you feel? You be listening to some of these readers, and you start hearing them hear somebody talk about feel, like folks. Guess what? Life is not about feelings. It's not. It's a little bit. It's like half and half. I don't know, logical and feel, but some of these readers, you could tell some of them not really really don't know a lot. They're just kind of flipping cards and talking about feelings. You know how I know that? Because next thing I know, I'll be in my feelings, and I'm asking, why am I in my feelings? Oh, because this person all he talking about is feelings, 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 feelings. There's no logical, no intellectual shit coming out of that shit whatsoever. Just feelings. Good God Almighty, man. That's another thing that scares me about being in a relationship because I'm not exactly in a mood for having feelings these days, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I was listening to one reader. I could tell she was, over a certain age. And she was talking about, you know, the things that's going on that we know is fraudulent. First of all, I told y'all that's why they bring all these motherfuckers in this country in the first place. They're not bringing moral people in this country. They're bringing people in this country who will do anything for a dollar, even if it means doing fraudulent things to Americans. That's why I once before said said in my videos that targeted individual. I said if you are a so-called American, you are a targeted individual because you're still operating off a system that's somewhat moral, but your country that you live in keeps proving to you time and time again that it does not care about you. Bringing all these people in from this country, do you know, guys, you can't even really get a job. If you speak English, you are overqualified. Why the hell would anybody want to stay in a place like that where your country has sold you out like that? I'm surprised my situation is even being taken care of. If God hadn't stepped in, it wouldn't have been taken care of. I don't want to stay here. I've already told y'all, and it's not about me. It's about if I decide to have a wife and children. That's what it's about. It's not about me. I can actually stay in this country and be happy by myself. But when you talk about having a family, no, 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 it's not the place. This is not the place for raising a family, unless you want your children to be subjected to the BS you went through, and even worse. Okay, this whole everything in business right now is operating under fraud, which is more signs of a depreciating dollar. When your dollar is not worth it, when your currency in your country is not worth a lot, you're going to start seeing a lot of fraudulent things happen. Why? Because people need money to pay their bills. And the money that they have and the money that they're working for is not enough money to pay their bills. What the fuck you think is going to happen? See? What do you think is going to happen? I listen to a lot of shit, guys, every day where it's just kind of like, what the fuck did you think? What do you think is going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen in these type of situations? But anyway, I don't want to be too long. I had a situation fraudulent happen to me the other day where I called to get some insurance, right? And when they gave me my policy, I looked at the policy a day after, and I went over every single digit. Something I don't do. Well, actually, I noticed because it was off by 1 year. It had my car, but it was off by 1 year, and I'm like, wait a minute, this car is not that year. Like, it was off by 1 year. And when I look at the VIN number, all the VIN digits were the same except one letter. I said, now how the fuck could that make sense? How could the person that I was speaking to over the phone get that wrong? Oh, like I just magically get one digit off and it just magically equals my car, but 1 year earlier? No, it was a somebody tried to commit fraud against me when I was getting some insurance. Okay, and I had to call back next day. And when I called back next day, of course they played it off like, "Oh, we didn't know that." Now, how the hell is insurance companies in business? Who's watching? Who's watching over the people that's watching your information? Who's the overseer? Like this one reader said, who's the overseer of the person who you're giving your social security number to, whether it's at a job or a government agency? Who's watching over them? Nobody. The whole country is under fraud. Man, see, this is the type of people I like to listen to. People who are actually thinking about something other than feelings and flipping cards. Because this shit is not about no feelings. I worry about being in a relationship, guys, because I'm not a feely person right now. I am this place. No, Some women out there looking at me like it's time to get touchy feely. I am not in my feel. I might even come off as cruel because I've been pushed. I've been pushed to the edge. What do you expect? After what I've been through, meaning all of a sudden I'm just gonna be lovey and feely after all this, after all the delays. I might not. I don't think I'm gonna need a therapist, but let's just say I might not just be the most loving person, even after the fact, just because, I don't want to. I don't want to spend the rest of my life being so-called gullible, right? You've been pushed to the edge. What do you expect? People push you to the brink. That's what people. That's what this life do. It just pushes you to the edge. Then they say, why you act like that? Why are you like that? That's what this world does to you. It pushes you to the edge, and then it asks you why you acting like that. See? How the hell can somebody get insurance policy out on somebody without that person's knowledge? How do you live inside a country? Like, what is this place? Really? How can somebody get a life insurance policy out on another individual without that individual's knowledge? How is that possible? To me, that's like life insurance equals murder plot, basically. If a life insurance policy goes out, I think maybe the police should be notified about it. Maybe it should go through like some kind of agency that protects the rights of people's lives first before somebody can just take out a life insurance policy. How the hell can you take out a life insurance policy without that individual actually knowing? How is that possible? How is that? How is that possible inside a country where you have to pay taxes? What the fuck are you paying taxes for if things can just be that fraudulent? What's the point? What is the point? That's the thing I'm dealing with right now in my life. Trying to figure out what the fuck is actually important. All this talk. Oh, it sounds good. Oh, you help the children. Yeah, it sounds good. What is actually important? People have been using that one for years. Oh, it's about you be able to help the children. Would they really, or will we really, or will I really? Oh, really? Yeah, I'm not in a feely type of mood these days, guys. More in a logical mood, thinking very logically about things. I don't have time to be in my feelings, even if I wanted to. It's very hard for me to imagine myself going from the way I feel now to all of a sudden just being this feely person in some marriage somewhere. It's very hard. Like, how would I just actually make that transition after this? I don't know. Like I told you, the Bible say angels don't get married. So I'm still trying to figure out what is actually important in this motherfucker. For real. Real talk, guys. That's my only weakness. What the fuck is actually important? I'm still looking for what is actually important. But I was so glad that this reader went there, talking about something other than feelings. Makes you wonder where are you really living when somebody can take out a life insurance policy without your knowledge? Makes no sense. Who is watching the people? That's why, and with all these immigrants that they didn't brought in the country, that's now bosses, that's now your manager at your job. What the fuck do I look like as a so-called American, giving all my information to some El Segundo motherfucker? What? I mean, what the fuck? I already told y'all, these motherfuckers over here, they looking at me like I'm weird. I've been here all my life. They only been here 10 years, but they looking at me like, what are you doing here? Do you, I mean, does the average American understand I mean, I don't care if you black, white, you should be fucking pissed about some shit like this. It's not your country no more. It's not a country no more. It's a corporation. I'll be damned if I go to a 9-to-5 job and I'm supposed to give somebody the last 20 years of my life and all my information to somebody who ain't even lived in. I mean, man, country sold you out. It's bottom line. This country sold. It's not a country anymore. It's a corporation. And the sooner you realize that, the better decisions you'll be able to make for yourself and your family. Corporation does not care about an individual at all. At all. And you got all these people that don't mind coming here from other places, leaving their home country, their fertile land, to come over here and be a slave. They do not mind. They don't mind. And if you're an American and you got people coming over here with that type of mentality, you're screwed. You're screwed. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care what position you rank, whether it's a truck driver. I don't care if what level you at as American. You can be bought out by them bringing somebody in the country, whether you making $20,000 a year or $100,000 a year. You're expendable because this place is a corporation. It's not a country anymore.